Federalist No. 20, 1788, by James Madison, published January 29, 1788, continued from No. 19. Let's bring these lessons together. Up to this point, we've looked at several historical confederacies, the Greeks, the German Empire, and now we turn to one final example, the United Netherlands. At first, this system might seem like a success story. The Dutch Republic was formed out of necessity, uniting provinces to resist foreign domination. It had a central authority, the States General, and mechanisms for cooperation among the provinces. There was even a shared interest in preserving independence and prosperity. But beneath that unity, familiar problems were already taking root. Each province retained a high degree of sovereignty. Decisions often required unanimity, which made decisive action difficult, sometimes impossible. Measures essential to the common good were delayed, weakened, or abandoned altogether because individual provinces put their own interests first. Sound familiar? Over time, these internal divisions began to show. Disputes between provinces became common. Enforcement of national decisions was inconsistent. The central authority lacked the strength to compel obedience. And once again, foreign influence found its way in, taking advantage of division and weakness. Even when the system functioned well, it did so more by circumstance than by design. Moments of unity were often driven by external threats, not by a stable and effective governing structure. In other words, the system worked just enough to survive, but not enough to thrive. And that's the danger, because a government that only works under pressure is not a reliable government. It cannot guarantee justice, stability, or long-term security. Madison's point becomes unmistakable. History does not give us a single example of a confederacy of sovereign states that has been able to govern effectively without a stronger central authority. Not one. And so, the lesson for America is clear. If we remain under a system like the Articles of Confederation, where the national government depends entirely on the states, we should expect the same results: delay, division, weakness, and vulnerability. But if we establish a constitution that gives the national government real, defined authority, while still preserving liberty, we can avoid the failures of the past. The choice is not between liberty and power. It is between a system that preserves both and one that ultimately loses both. Publius,